What's going on? We're back for another episode of Not Cool in High School Horror, and this one is we're gonna tackle a movie that a lot of people are very conflicted on. Either they love it or they hate it. I've been told it's boring. I've been told it's not worth your time, but I am a fan of this character, of the look of this character. I have a Nosferatu pop behind me. So this is the 2014 Nosferatu. This is an American Gothic horror film written and directed by Robert Eggers, who also has done movies that we have covered on the channel, like The Lighthouse, and not have covered, but I did watch The Witch. So he has that style, right? There's that Gothic style, black and white, does that whole bit. The Witch was very dialogue, very eerie speech thing. It's not very action packed, so I'm kind of expecting Nosferatu to be one of the same. So this is an adaptation on Bram Stoker's novel Dracula. It's an unauthorized adaptation, so it's not like it's full blown. It's going to star Bill Skarsgård as Count Olaf, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, which is Johnny Depp's, I believe, daughter. Supporting cast includes Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin, Ralph Emerson, Simon McBurney, and William Dafoe. So that's kind of what we're going to go through here. So the premise on that we're seeing is a Gothic tale between a haunted young woman and a terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. Before we get into it, I just want to go through some of the little bits and pieces here. So this is production company Studio 8, and its release date was December 2nd, 2004 in Berlin. It released on Christmas in the United States on December 25th. It's an hour and 32 minutes. It's an English movie. Budget was $50 million, and it made $178.8 million so far. I do believe that this is streaming on Peacock. You could rent to buy on Amazon, or you can, pick it up physically at your local stores. I'm watching it on Vudu. Lily Rose Depp is going to play Ellen. Nicholas Hoult is going to play Thomas Holter. Holt, and then Hutter, I think is the name. Ellen Hutter, Thomas Hutter. Bill Skarsgård is going to be Count Olaf or Nosferatu. Aaron Taylor Judge is going to be Frederick Harding. William Dafoe is going to be Professor Albin Earnhardt. We'll go through. I don't have to go through the whole thing, but that's pretty much what to expect here. I'm going to stay away from everything else there. When it comes to that, I want to stay away from it, but it did gross $95.6 million in the U.S. and Canada on as of February 23rd, 2025. So that's pretty cool. And then other territories grossing it at $178.8 million total. It was a 85% of 331 reviews are positive, and it gets an 8 out of 10. So like I said, some people really like it, some people hate it. It did win some awards. It was nominated for a bunch. So I'm going to watch the trailer quick. We'll be right back. I'll tell you what I think of the trailer, and then we'll dive into the movie, and I'll be back to tell you what I think of it. Give me a moment. All right, so I just watched a trailer. It looked like it was black and white at first, but it is not a black and white film. It's very, like the Gothic is definitely there. It's very dark, very blue. There is obviously scenes where it's a little more vibrant, but it looks dark and dreary. The Nosferatu, you see a little bit of the eyes, but nothing much in the trailer. The silhouette, which is the most famous thing of him going up the stairs, they didn't do that in the trailer, but there's a cool scene at the end where the curtains are blowing and his shadow is there. He looks dope. It's going to be very oldie English talking, so if that's something you're not into, maybe not. It's a time period piece, so it's not going to be like speaking modern. It has elements that I'm interested to see how they do when it comes to not just the vampire itself, but it looks like there's some demon possession going on here. It looks like there's some rats and some plagues. The rats. I think the trailer looks cool. It looks eerie. It looks spooky. It looks like it's going to be more of a psychological thriller than maybe so much a horror. But I'm pumped for it. I know a lot of people who said they didn't like it. I don't know how I always lie when it comes to their views of movies are my own, so I'm going in open-minded. I am a fan of the character. I like these time period pieces. I'm always good down for a good vampire movie, and it's been a minute since we've had one, so fingers crossed that Bill Skarsgård can pull off Pennywise as well as Olaf or Nosferatu. I'm going to jump out of here. Let's see if there's anything else in my notes here. I'm still, like I said, finding myself in these things. Yeah, so real quick, I did pick this because it's still kind of new. You can watch it on Peacock. This is something I normally love. I love vampire movies. I love horror. I love a good monster. This is right up my alley when it comes to that style of horror. So I'm pumped. I did hear about this at first via obviously the internet and photos and stuff. I did kind of stay away from trailers for the most part. I may have watched a little bit of a trailer back in the day before it was like on its way out. I didn't see this in theaters. This is one that I kind of waited till streaming. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm gonna go turn it on now. I'm gonna sit in the comfy chair. I'm gonna schmoogaboo, and I'm gonna watch this movie and enjoy myself. So I'll be back in a little bit with some things I liked, some things I don't like. Some spoilers will be in this. I will tell you when I will be spoiling things. So I will give you a little bit of a time to check it out and tell you the things I liked and stuff and my scale before I get into spoilers. So I will give you guys a full-blown warning when that comes. And maybe I'll show off my Funko Pop. I'll show you my little Nosferatu Funko at the end here. A little show and tell. But that's going to do it. We'll come back here after the movie, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, we're back. I just watched the movie, and wow. So when I read the thing online, it said it's an hour and a half of film. It was not. It was almost 2 hours, I believe. So quick little nod to that. Let me just double check that again. See if I just read that wrong. Yeah, running time an hour and 32 minutes. It was definitely longer than an hour and 32 minutes. So that source is not credible. Yeah, it's closer to 2 hours. I'm gonna be honest. Well, I'll get into everything in a moment. Let me pull up my notes here so I know I'm on the same page and I'm following my guideline here. But so things I liked. The movie is shot beautifully. The cinematography, the camera work is so good. It's so good. The settings, the villages, the towns, the castles, everything looks gorgeous. Like some of the best scenes and props and everything that you're gonna imagine. I love that. I love that. The elements of the vampire. So here's what I hear some people say they didn't like it. I knew going into it was going to fall under. Now this isn't my dislikes. I'm just kind of gauging what others may have said. But there's a lot of dialogue. It's not a movie that's going to hold your hand. Even though I feel like it does. I feel like for the most part you know what's coming. It's a very classically done style movie. The best way I can describe it, it reminds me of like King Kong, where it's like the beast wants the girl. They're like, you know what I mean? Like it has that, you just want King Kong to destroy the city type vibe. Like, you know, it's this creature that's infatuated with the woman. Like it has an old school vibe to it. And yeah, I liked it. Now I've never seen the original Nosferatu. I believe there's a remake of as well. Let me just so I guess the original 1922 film, and then there's a 1979 remake. They said I guess they said that it pulls a lot from that source material, which I have to go back and rewatch maybe to appreciate it more. But man, I liked it. I thought it was done really well. I want to say before I get into it, I'll give it my scale, and then I'm gonna get into some spoilers. So you guys, if you haven't seen it already, you can turn that part off and then come back later. But so out of a 5 scale, I'm protecting the 4, right? I think a 4 is something that's unbelievable. A 5 is perfect, but I'm gonna go 3.5. I think it was good. I mean, it might be something I will watch again. I don't think this is a one and done movie for me. I think this is something I'm going to seek back out and maybe see the source material and maybe listen to some other people's opinions or takes that maybe know more about the topic than I do. But I'm just giving my genuine feelings first without listening to other reviewers' things, so I'm not regurgitating the same stuff. But like, if you're not into heavy dialogue, if you're not into like the old English talking and speaking and maybe uses of words that really aren't used anymore, then this is probably gonna really fall off for you. I think it's gonna be a hard follow. It's not, like I said, it's tense with your, like, you have to kind of put yourself in the mind state to watch it. I mean, I really don't know how else to describe it. It is definitely exactly what it's sold for when it comes to that style of film by Robert Eggers. It's that gothic horror film. It's not slasher. It's not monster. I mean, it's kind of monster movie-ish, but it's gothic horror. It's more based on the settings. It's more based on, you know, just like the timepiece element of it, and just like the lack of humanism and religion and science, and I do like how they mix the plague elements into it. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth your time. I think you should definitely watch it. It is on Peacock. Go check it out. So from here on out, I'm gonna give you my spoilers. So spoilers coming as of right now, in 3, 2, 1. I'll go to dislikes. And it's not a huge dislike, it's just more of a funny thing. I didn't need to go my entire life without seeing Orloff dick. You know what I mean? He's slanging some dick in this movie. This dude, yeah, you see some vampire wiener. Yeah, a lot of boobie, a lot of wiener. So if you're like, oh, good, boobs, they're gonna throw ween at you too in this movie. Not that I don't dislike it. It wasn't like it was make or break for me. It was just funny. I will say my biggest dislike is I don't like the way Count looked, Nosferatu himself. He looked like a sick Jim Carrey, but like a Dr. Egghead version, like with the mustache. The whole time I could not tell you that was Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu, because it looked like Jim Carrey. It looked like Jim Carrey the whole time to me. Every time he was on screen, I thought it was Jim Carrey. That's what it looked like to me. I thought he did a good job as Nosferatu. I think the voice was cool, the heavy breathing. I wish they would have showcased the teeth more. I feel like one of the biggest things for Nosferatu was the fingers, the long fingers, and then that overbite tooth. And I think the mustache took away from the teeth. I think the teeth, and he's, you know, Pennywise, he's good at using his mouth and using his teeth and using that element. And I don't think they did that too often with Nosferatu, and I think that was a huge missed opportunity. I think one of the things that made Pennywise stand out and Bill to play that role was the fact he can drool, and he's very mouthy, and a lot of his facial expressions come from his mouth. And that big ass bushy mustache took a lot of that away from me. That's just me. That's probably the only dislike I have throughout the whole movie. Positives, man. The guy who plays the husband. Let me just Nicholas Hoult. He is a fantastic actor. I think everyone does such a good job in this movie. He's amazing in it. Lily Rose Depp kills it in the movie. I thought she did a fantastic job. Aaron Taylor, the whole time I was like, where the fuck do I know him from? But he's Kick-Ass. He's the guy who plays Kick-Ass. William Dafoe kills it. He's unbelievable in the movie. You can't go wrong with William Dafoe in anything. I mean, there's movies that people don't like Death Note. I love it just because William Dafoe plays that character so well. The acting in it is great. I love the acting. Like I said, that goes through with it. And then some spoiler alert scenes that I really liked. Man, I hate to sound morbid when I say this, but when a horror movie, like my t-shirt, is gonna kill children, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of horror movie taboo where kids are always safe. Not in this movie. He eats 2 kids. Crazy scene. Absolutely crazy scene. And the end scene was so beautifully done. Like the way it was done, the way it was shot, the way the sunlight hit, like, oh, it was just the blood pouring out of him. The last shot of them laying in the bed was gorgeous, and William Dafoe standing in the window, just narrating it and tying all the pieces together. Yeah, I really like it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good movie. I'm probably gonna bump it up a little more. I'll probably go a 3.75 on this. I thought it was a fun movie. Lily, are you on the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask your opinion quick. Maybe I'll get a quick yell from the other room what she thought. Yes, no? Maybe not. All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. That's going to be my review of Nosferatu. I wanted to ask. You don't have to be on camera. You can if you said unless you don't want to. It's completely up to you. What was your overall take? You watched it with me.
All right, so I'm gonna say this, right? Like, I haven't watched a whole bunch of scary movies or like even classic horror films. I enjoyed the story that was, laid out there.
It was a good story too. Yeah, I liked it too.
But I could tell everything that was going to happen right before it happened. Like, I felt like I was watching wrestling with you and you're about to tell me, like, the move that's going to happen or, like, it's about to finish. Like, it was almost like I already knew exactly what the next scene was.
You know why? Because you read a lot. You read a lot, and a lot of the style that you read is American Gothic horror.
Fair.
You read a lot of Edgar Allan Poe. That's this movie.
Yeah.
That's this style of movie. It's not to shock or awe you. It's
Right.
to wow you with the speech and wow you with the cinematography and wow you with the dialogue. And I think that's where it loses a lot of people, but I think it captured for both of us because I think this is your style of movie. You're definitely an American Gothic horror
I
film.
need you to watch Pale Blue Eyes now.
Okay, that'll be we'll put up in the list.
If anyone wants to look that one up, that's actually like kind of a murder mystery in which Edgar Allan Poe is a character.
Yeah. So what else about it stood out to you? I hope you're being picked up on the microphone. We'll see how this plays out.
I really liked the cinematography of like how it wasn't quite black and white, but it had that paleness to it, and the only time where you really saw the color were the deeper reds, but like throughout everything, the nature, like everything kind of was death.
Yeah.
And the only time that you didn't see it was either when there was something tumultuous about to happen or an instance of love. Like you saw her having color when they're talking about their wedding day, but then the only other time you really saw color was whenever death was associated with it, which was kind of funny because it was like death surrounded being lack of color.
Yeah.
But death was still kind of what brought her to life, if that makes sense.
Who stood out to you acting wise?
Nick Holt has been my favorite since Jack and the Beanstalk. I think he's criminally underrated. He was in Warm Bodies. He was in...
I've yet to see that.
He's been in so many good movies, and I think he's an amazing actor. I think he did really great in this, because I feel like a lot of the movies I have seen him in are more, like, comedic almost.
He's in Mad Max Fury Road, too. He's the main grunt.
Witness me!
Okay.
Yeah,
and he's an X-Men. He plays, I believe
you on that.
Cyclops.
I
believe he plays
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
But I mean, like I said, I think he's a criminally underrated actor, but I think that even like you just said in Mad Max Fury Road, it's still kind of that humor. He has kind of that comedic relief, and this was very much a serious role from like A to Z, and he killed it.
He's really good. He has a weird thing too where depending on what angle the camera is hitting him or the light, he looks like a different person. There's scenes where he looks very unique and to himself, and there's some scene he looks like Tom Cruise, and then there's some scene
Eddie Redmayne, the guy from Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, he transforms a lot. He transforms his look a lot. Anything else? Overall, 3 out of 5. Or, I mean, 1 to 5.
I mean, as far as like, I would watch it again. I would probably give that like Don't get mad at me. I'd probably give it a 4. Like,
A 4?
That's a really good movie for me.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah, I would definitely check it out. I hope the audio came through for Lily. I didn't really have any plan there, but she wasn't mic'd up, so hopefully that came through well. We'll see you next time. So I do have a list of movies that I will be covering soon. So I'll kind of give you a rundown of what to expect between Not Cool in High School and Not Cool in High School horror. I do want to add music to the Not Cool in High School and other things as well. But I think the next movie you're going to see for me, is going to be Deadpool vs. Wolverine. I think I'm finally going to cover that. Beetlejuice 2's on the list. Terminator, I want to get back with Sonny Defarge with those. The New Crow, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Godzilla -1, Sonic 3, Wonka, Oppenheimer, Godzilla vs. Kong, Barbie, the new Indiana Jones, Mario, and Everywhere, Everything, All the Time, and then some horror movies to expect. Next one we'll be doing that you'll see on this is it's going to be Wolfman, followed by Smile 2, Terrifier 3 with Courtney. We'll be getting back in touch with that one. A Quiet Place Day 1, Longlegs, Strangers Part 1, Heretic, Barbarian, Black Phone, Saltburn, nope. Talk to Me and Queer are all on the list for horror. Also, all on horror is X, Pearl, and Maxine are going to be on that list as well. So a lot of stuff is coming. I'm going to start trying to do it once a week. Every other week, these horror ones will drop. If you want to check out other reviews, head over to our other channel, Not Cool in High School, or the ABJ channel. So if you're on this, scroll down, and if you're on the ABJ channel and you don't like the wrestling, you don't like this, you don't like that, but you only like these movie reviews or just horror in general, every channel has their own channel now. So if you go to the very bottom of the page, all the other channels are there. If you really could help with subscribe to all of them, that would seriously help me out, because the subscriber counts of those are just starting out, so we can get those to monetization and get those goals. But all the old content will be available, so if you want to check out previous episodes of Not Cool in High School, they're all there, as well as the brand new Not Cool in High School horror page, where it's all going to start dropping, and you can check out the previous episodes we did, and now the new ones where I'll kind of be more solo, and then having guests on here and there. But thank you guys so much. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Nosferatu. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Where do you lie in between? Give it your score in the very bottom, and I'll read some of your comments in the next video, and we'll talk about that and open that dialogue. Come join us in the Discord to come talk to all movies, pop culture, and horror with us. We have a little conversation about everything going on in there, and we hope to see you guys soon, and we'll see you on the next one. We're out of here. Bye.